Hello, good evening, and welcome to Full Time Reds. Leicester City 1, Liverpool nil from the King Power Stadium this evening. I'm on my own tonight. And I'm not surprised. I'd say a lot of the lads just turned their phone off when they were asked to come onto this show. But a very, very, very disappointing night from Liverpool in all aspects of what they done tonight. And they're beaten 1-0 by Leicester City, and they remain 6 points behind Manchester City in the title race. There'll be a lot of fans tonight, I think, writing off a league after what's gone on tonight. But I have to be honest, you know, James says there, Gav will be raging. I absolutely am raging. I'm absolutely Do you know what? It's probably one of the most annoyed I've been after a game in a long time. After the likes of Brighton, I thought we were lucky, despite being really good in the first half an hour. Brentford was one of those games. Chelsea, we've drawn some spores. What can you do? That's just the way it goes. But tonight, you know, um, it's it's infuriating, to be honest with you. It's absolutely infuriating. I'm going to read out as many comments as I can tonight to help me out, because I haven't got anyone beside me here tonight to talk this over. Poor performance all round. Defence caught sleeping for the goal, and Allison beaten at the near post. Every dog has today and tonight. Bastards singing it, feed the Scousers. Yeah, that continued on tonight, didn't it? They just don't learn. You know, I seen a tweet earlier from a Liverpool fan dropping off field at a field bank in Leicester today. So I don't know where they go from there. Red Steve says only 16 likes. Come on, it's not Gav's fault. Hit the like regardless. Yeah, hit the like button if you like. There's more than that, Red Steve, to be honest. But if you want to hit the like button, go ahead and do that. If you haven't subscribed already, go and do that as well. And if you do listen to us on an audio download, hit the review button. Give us a 5-star review, and it helps more people see our podcast. Just on tonight though, the team: Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Simicas, Fabinho, Henderson, Ox, Mane, Salah, Jota. It was as good as you wanted it to be. It was the one you probably expected. Maybe there was one or two there that you thought maybe, where would Thiago come in? Would Keita start instead of Ox? Would Firmino get a start? But I was quite happy with the side that they put out. When you look at Leicester, they had a back four: Castagna, Amarte, Ndidi, Thomas. They played Dewsbury Hall. I always get his name wrong. They had Chowdhury and Samari. They had Jamie Vardy plays. You know, they've a half decent side out, to be fair to them. And I just can't get over. How we haven't won that game, and how poor we were in all aspects of it. The Salah penalty miss is huge. We're well on top, and we're getting shots. A couple blocked. Matip has a chance. Jota has a couple blocked. Henderson has a few pops. But then Salah gets the penalty, and you're like, right, okay, let's get this out of the way, and let's see what Leicester are made of. And it's a poor penalty. Schmeichel saves it, and Salah should do better with the header. He hits the bar, and you're kind of going, is it one of those nights? Phil Banda reckons the title race is over. I don't think so. I might be being over optimistic in that, but it is 6 points. It does look huge. But if it was the other way around, would you write off City? That's my only question on it. Darren says fair play, Gav. Not easy going in there after a result like that. Chelsea now a must win. League's not done yet, in my opinion, but it could be very soon. I agree with you on that, Darren. Well, look, I come on here regardless, win, lose or draw, so that doesn't really bother me. But yeah, Chelsea looks a must win. You can't go 9 points. You can't go 9 points off City, because I think they play. Is it Brentford? I think they have next. They have a couple of handy. They've Arsenal as well, I think, but they've Brentford in their next game. A lot of hate in here for Mane. He didn't have a great game. He had a great chance in the second half, and he poured over. It's just like, what do people think? Do you think the league is over? Are you going that far? It's a bad result. It's not a great result. It's not a great performance. 21 shots, 4 on target. There's the story. Leicester had 5 shots, I think, in the first half. They had 6 in the whole game. I'm trying to remember if they had anything else bar the goal. Daddy Pig says we aren't City, Gav. These guys will never win 18 games. Yeah, look, it is what it is. 6 points off City halfway through the season. It is what it is, you know. But I won't give it up. Not a chance will I give it up. You know, it's out of our hands, as Kev O'Sullivan says. Can't afford any more nights like that. That's very true, Kev. It really is. Patrick reckons it's done. City won't drop 6 points. Bad form from the other lads that cried off. No, nobody cried off, Robbie. I'm only messing. Nobody cried off. It was one of those where there's a couple of lads aren't well at the minute. A bit under the weather, not COVID related. But a bit under the weather at the moment. So I knew from yesterday that I'd be here on my own. Sean Pritchard says Gav's right. The season's not done yet. However, these are the points we need to take. It's just extremely disappointing. It really is, and I wasn't too concerned when Salah missed the penalty. I was like, you know, it happens. You know, I think he's missed 3 penalties in his career at Liverpool. I read earlier, one away at Huddersfield. I think one away at Huddersfield, one against AC Milan, and that one tonight. It's Faster Tortoise with a super chat. Thanks for that. He says we don't deserve the title. City too far ahead. And Jonathan says no one is giving it up. But it's going to be really tough now. Yeah, it is going to be tough. It's tough to win a league. You know, it's tough to win a league. We've lost 2 of our first 19. I think we've drawn as a 5. 4 or 5. So it's one of those where you know we probably need to turn one of those defeats into a win, and probably 2 of those draws into a win off the back in the back second half of this season. But going back to it, like I said, Salah misses the penalty. It gives them a bit of something again to hold on to, because I thought with what they had at their disposal tonight, they were always going to sit deep. They're always going to look to hit on the break, and that would have drawn them out. Or maybe not. Maybe it wouldn't have drawn them out. Maybe it would have been a case of it's not drawing them out, but we have an advantage there. You know, it's just I can't really put into words how annoyed I am. You know, the subs were a bit strange. Fabinho coming off, Milner coming on. It was a bit mad. Henderson won then. He leaves Ox on. You know, then he puts on Firmino as well. It's just look, it's what can you say about it? Like, give me a reaction. I'll read out as many reactions as you want. Let me know if you feel that the league is gone. Let me know how you feel we played tonight. But I felt there was a slight bit of us turning up there tonight for me and presuming we're going to win the game. You know, there's been a lot made over the League Cup game last week where I thought Leicester was just, I don't know what they were at. And they go away to City and you see the team they put out. They do score 3, but you can see it's 6. And tonight I think Liverpool thought, you know, with the changes they'd have to make, particularly when you look at centre half and midfield, you think, you know, it's one of those where Liverpool can turn up and play and win. And they just didn't. He just didn't. Dean Regan has a super chat in there. And it's you know what? There's a lot of stuff coming in about Mane tonight. He wasn't good, Mane tonight, but I don't think you can just pin it on Mane. I just don't think you can. Dean Regan says Mane decline is sad fella, can't run. He offers nothing. And Christopher Scott, he says City are relentless. Anyone up for a cup treble? You know, people will go and say, let's look at the cups and stuff like that, but you can't give up a league with 6 points in it, can you? With 19 games to go, can you? Mr. Sowersby says, it's not over because of the points gap, Gav. It's the mentality of the team. 2 years ago, we came here after the World Club Championship and killed them. 6 days off, and this time we bought a little. Yeah, I get that. I absolutely get that. And everyone has every right to have a go at Liverpool tonight from start to finish. You know, even the goal, Lookman gets it on the left-hand side. He turns in, he plays the ball, he goes sprinting, and no one follows him. Nobody follows him. They all watch him running. He gets it back from Dewsbury Hall. He's one-on-one with Matip, who tries to slow him up. He comes inside. I don't think Matip done great in what he done. And Alisson, it's a really good strike. I'll give him that. But I think Alisson could do better at that near post. Mojo says you all laughed at me. What did we laugh at you about? Did you say the league was over a couple of weeks ago? I think you might have. But I'm still not giving it up, Mojo. I refuse to give up a league when there's 6 points in it and 57 points to play for. I understand people I understand people getting frustrated. I understand people getting a bit despondent when you see the forms that you're in and where we sit at the moment. But like, what do we do? What do we do? Mojo says you're not laughing now. Liverpool are finished. Okay, fair enough. But what do you do? Do you just sit back and say, okay, the league's over, and you do nothing? That's it. You just decide it's over. We give it up on December 28th or 9th or whatever it is. No, not for me. Not for me. Red Steve says, look, Mum was Trent's man. He's poor defensively. There's a couple of them there watch him run. There's a couple of them watch him run, you know, and when he gets into that position and he comes inside, Matip should, he's probably a bit worried, Matip. He's on a yellow, and he get, the thing is, Lookman gets into the box. You know, if it's outside the box, you can probably put a bit more pressure on him, get a bit tighter, but Matip is probably looking, going, if I make even the slightest challenge here, it's a penalty, and I'm off. They're gonna do me, and we're off. It's a good goal from the Leicester's the point of view. They make subs, they double down, then they decide that's enough, and we're gonna sit in. But you know, do we have to go? Do we write this off? That's what I'm asking people tonight. Do we write it off, or do we say, look, it's one of those, we get back on it and we keep going? Like, you know, Owen Fleming is not having a bar of this. He says it's far from over. Probably same people who wrote us off for the top four last year. I think it's very difficult. I think the forms that you're in, the squad you have, they've had, I don't think they've had any disruption to their fixture, so they're just going along as normal, you know. And that's not a go at them. They've played the games they've been asked to play. We get a break, and it doesn't seem, we get a little break there because of the Leeds thing, and it doesn't seem to have done us any benefit, I think. But I think it's more the attitude. I don't think it's anything to do with fitness, or you know, what legs we have or something like that. I just don't think it is. I think it was an attitude thing tonight. James Smith says, no way we can give them the league challenge. Far too early. The loss will hurt. Team will not let this happen again. Positivity, please, folks. I'm with you on that, but I get people's negativity as well. You know, and when I looked at that tonight, when, you know, I didn't get long to react after, because literally it was over and I was ready to come on here. But the application for me, the ideas, you know, like Leicester were growing into this game. You know, they were actually growing into this as it went on. And I know they sat back, and I know they make subs, and I know they set out their style, but they seemed to get more and more comfortable as it went on. Bejan says, no, we count the points in May. Matip Costas was the only two that can hold their heads up. Everyone else was below par, says Han Xiao. Josh Burke says, this game is coming with the piss poor casual passing in the game recently, and that's something I noticed as well. I think Spurs was where I noticed it, losing the ball an awful lot, and I kind of put it down to a midfield that was not used to each other. But like, we controlled that first half. We controlled it. But I think, like Kieran B says, toothless. I think there was a bit of that. And when you look at the quality of players we have up front, and when you look at what we can do to teams, I can only at times put it down to application and wanting to go that extra yard, and, you know, just picking that right pass. Let me see. Antwango says, some fans just can't wait for us to fail so they can brag about it. I haven't seen many fans bragging about it, I'm being honest with you. I haven't. When I see a lot of that go on, I actually put it down to huge frustration from people. If you got them one-on-one and spoke to them, they'd be like, look, I'm not fucking happy about this. Some people do come across as happy about it, but no, it's not. No Liverpool fan are going to be happy about that. Cat says, strikers were off today. Matip and Costas were good, to be honest. The rest of the team were just slack. But what do you put that down to? You know, like, I seen Van Dijk mentioned earlier there, shadow of himself. I wouldn't go that far. But was it the right decision to bring Van Dijk back in? You know, Fabinho back in? I know Thiago and Jones don't, but was it right to bring them back in? A lot of people going on about the pass today. Absolutely dreadful. It was last season all over again. Have all of the ball and no finishing, says Patrick Flannery. But like last year, Patrick, a lot of that was down to the team were just, their legs were ran off them. We were missing players. it just wasn't right. But tonight you had a team in place that you would expect to go and win. Keita on for rocks is bonkers. I didn't think Keita was great when he come on. Steve Highway says City squad is unreal. Our defence has let us down. Too many draws, silly goals given away. Our forwards been brilliant this season all around. They absolutely have. When you look at the amount of goals they have, and Mane is in one of those periods where it's not great for him at the moment. You have to say that, but I look at it tonight. When you look at that Leicester defence, you should expect Liverpool to be scoring 1, if not 2 or 3 goals, and they just didn't do it. Alex has a comment there. I just want to get up on the screen. It just keeps running away from me. He says, it's frustrating, Gav, but oh well, let's get on the cans for New Year's Eve. I'm off the cans until New Year's Eve. I've had enough. I'm getting staring looks off numerous members of the family at this stage when cans of Guinness just keep appearing everywhere. But we're not going to go on too long tonight about this. We're going to probably do a half an hour, and let me see. We take our chances, different stories, as Iggy catch it. But that's the thing. Like, we take our chances, different story. But we should have taken them. We should have taken a couple. The Mane one is a big one for me. It's a big one for me. But I just want to do a little poll over the next 5 minutes and just put in a word. Give up if you think the league is over. Carry on if you think the league isn't. Just do it for me. Hit the like button while you're at it, and give up if you feel the league is over. Carry on if you feel that it's not. And we'll have a look at that over the next 4 or 5 minutes. But I want to look at a couple of players. I thought Salah was quiet again tonight. I don't know how much the penalty miss affects him, but he was quiet again. I thought he was quiet enough again tonight. I really did, and he was quiet enough against Spurs as well. If you remember, is that a worry? I don't think it is personally, but it was a bit of a worry. A lot of carry-ons coming in here, some give-ups. A lot of people are in that boat where we carry on. Let me see. Johnny B. Good says, no, it's over. We aren't good enough for him. Russell Deeby wants to carry on. John Summers says give up, unfortunately. But look, you never know. Like at Chelsea, a win against Chelsea, does that change it? I know it's still 6 points. The chances are it's 6 points, even if you win. But how big is this Chelsea game now? Because we go to Stamford Bridge on the 2nd of January, and I 100% believe it's an absolute must-win game. Anything less than a win there, and you're probably looking at being 8 or 9 points behind, and I think that's a huge gap. I really do. 6, I think, is good. Mr. Sinclair says if City go 9 points clear, it's done. Simple maths. Carry on, but it's over. Make of that what you will, Red Steve. Well, you've just given up, but you're hanging in there in case something happens. I like it. Splinters from Red Steve. Loads of carry-ons, loads of people carrying on, so that's good to see. And when you see people voicing their frustrations but still saying, look, carry on, it's all good. I'm good with that. Shane says City are a machine, Gav, and are definitely favourites at the moment. They are 100% favourites. When you're 6 points clear going into the new year, you're definitely the favourites. Mr. Sinclair says we're going against one team, City. It'll be us and City, I think, 1 and 2. But you have to just see how close you can get. Like, would you take being 4 points off them at the start of March? Matching them and getting a little bit of a gap closed on them. I don't know, but on a couple of players tonight, a lot have said it there about Mane. I just don't think it happened for him at all tonight. But I think what you've seen from Mane kind of spread across the whole team. I thought sloppy, just not even a yard off the pace, but just not. When we're usually crisp and the passes are quick and we move quick and we cause confusion in defence. I just thought we gave them too much chance to set themselves. We didn't ask them enough questions. Ramos Khalil says that's 5 games in the season. We're talking about players' poor attitude. This isn't league winning mentality. Barring a massive capitulation, City are running away. I think this is the biggest one, Rames. What if you call out the draws that we've had? You can kind of look and go this or that, and the West Ham one wasn't great. but I think we showed more in the West Ham game. I just thought I think we should. I think we showed up there tonight thinking we would win the game. You know, and I hate losing to Leicester because I cannot fucking stand the man that is the manager, and to be honest, that there a lot of the fans have gone down in my estimation over the last 7-8 days or whatever it is, but tonight it's infuriating when you see what team we put out against what team they put out and what we're fighting for. You know, like Rodgers has put on the poor mouth for the last couple of days since he's lost the City, and you know that's probably his. He wasn't even rallying calling. He was basically saying it was ridiculous. We have to play and stuff like that. Cat says we had a 5-day break. Leicester played 2 days ago. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, some people will argue, oh, if we played, you know, 2 days ago, we'd be sharper. Some people would say we wouldn't have the legs today, but we didn't show the superiority in the legs we should have. And A, and B, we didn't show the quality we had above them. We had a much better side than Leicester City out tonight. And you have to just take it as it is. Maverick says sloppy, too casual all round. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you on that, Maverick. That's what I felt it was. Thought we showed a bit of arrogance, didn't want to work for the results, as Anthony H. I agree with you again. I agree with you on that. It was a case of let's turn up and and this game will be won. It'll be interesting. Russell asked what was Klopp's teams from his presser. I haven't seen anything. If anyone has seen any comments from Jurgen Klopp or players after the game, let me know, because literally this show goes live 4-5 minutes after after the final whistle goes. Literally the final whistle goes and I'm literally sitting here ready to go. So it's one of those. Back on the cans pieces, honestly, lads, should we just fucking give up, behave? He's not having a bar of it. Hannah says, yeah, Leicester fans can get in the bin. Not all Leicester fans. You can't just tear them out the one brush, but I think a huge amount of them have let themselves down. But that's beside the point. You know, we're talking about a Liverpool team that have lost tonight. It's nothing to do with their fans and what their fans say. Let me see. Anyway, let's all like the stream. We're all getting a chance to vent. Yeah, absolutely, vent away. If you want to vent away, I'll read out as much as I can. Kieran Doyle, he says 6 points behind, worst goal difference. AFCON next month, smaller squad, completely ignoring the transfer window as usual. I mean, fair play if you want to believe in all that, but it's a mountain now. Yeah, you've very, very valid points. We are 6 points behind. We have got a worse goal difference. The AFCON is coming next month. I don't know how many City lose in that, or Chelsea lose in that, or others lose. I haven't really kept up to speed on that. Transfer window ignored as usual. We don't know, but we have got form. Fair play if you want to believe in all that, but it's a mountain now. It absolutely is, but we don't do anything easy. You know, even 19-20 when we win the league by a massive distance, it wasn't easy. You know, we put in a lot of hard working performances. We had COVID that stopped it for months, and we came back and we won the league. You know, too many points drops, says Mike in the Ward. This is where the draws kill us. 6 points is fine when it's any other team, but City, says Kieran Doyle. Yeah, I get the whole thing over City because the squad they have, and I absolutely understand that. I kind of look at it from a different point of view, where I go, it's not over. We're Liverpool. We know what we can do. I get all the squad stuff. I get the AFCON stuff. I get the January transfer window stuff. I get the 6 points behind stuff. But I still, as a Liverpool fan, just for me personally, find it extremely difficult to give up. I just do. And it'll probably be, listen, we could be sitting here in 3 months' time and we're 15 points or 20 points off Man City, and they win a game at the end of April to secure the title, and I go, yeah, it's over now. But until then, it's probably me being very, very naive, but that's just the way I am. Some people are like that. Some people aren't, and that's absolutely fine. James Smith says mountains can be overcome. We can keep up with City. We are Liverpool. What was the deal with that they targeted the left side, Trent and Matip, because they also played just off our defence from second half? You know what? I think the Matip yellow is huge. You know, 4 minutes in, he gets booked, and I think it's huge. I think it actually just pinpoints where Leicester should go, and it amplifies it more because it's not on Virgil van Dijk's side. They probably would have looked and said Tsimikas, could we have a go with him? But he's been really good when he's played. But when you have Matip on a booking, and you've Trent that wants to go forward, it just shows Leicester, there's your opportunity. There's your absolute opportunity. And that's where the goal comes from, and it's one of those. Jason McDonald with a quote here from Jurgen Klopp. He says, Klopp speaking to Amazon, a defeat is a defeat. We have to learn, and we will. The first thing is not to do it ever again like this. We lost our rhythm, and we weren't calm enough to get it back. That's their fault. I think he's spot on with what he says there. He's spot on with what he says there. We 4 unlikes tonight, or thumbs down, wherever they are. People are just upset at the result, or just don't like me. One or the other, fair enough. You can go wherever you like with that. What does give up mean? We still have to change into the strip and play, says Black Jock. I think give up is probably a strong word. I think it's probably, do you concede that the title is out of our capabilities, beyond our capabilities? And I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Henderson will not be first choice in our midfield in the near future. I thought he was poor. I'm going to say that. Yeah, I did. I think thought he was poor, and he wasn't there against Spurs. I don't think he would. You know, he plays against Leicester and he's over an illness, and he was okay against Leicester. But overall, I thought there wasn't many standout today where you go, do you know what? He was really, really good, and we lost the game. Jason McDonald has more here for us. Thanks, Jason. He says, we are just not good enough. We still had enough chances. What we did with the ball was just not right. We played a really bad game, so it was well deserved. Our decision making was poor. So there you go. He's spot on, you know, and you have to, as hard as it is, and as annoyed as I am, and I trust me, I'm laughing at this, and I'm having a bit of a joke with you as well, but I was disgusted not from start to finish, but certain elements of that game. I was not happy with whatsoever, and I think Klopp's hit it on the head. Decision making, what they did with the ball, they were in a rhythm. I thought they were in a rhythm, despite Salah's penalty miss. I thought they were in a rhythm. I really did, and I thought, what can Leicester do second half with their legs go a bit? We push, get a goal, and see where they are. The first goal was always going to be crucial because Leicester were definitely going to sit in. They were sitting in. As it was, you know what I mean? Kat says, well, at least Klopp owned it. You have to own it. There's nothing you can do. You know, there is times where you go, you know, like the Spurs game for me, the VAR is atrocious, and we should win the game, and we should have X amount of minutes where we have a man advantage. But there is times where you just have to say, you know what, a defeat is a defeat. Matip was good, says Michael Healy. Yeah, Matip was good. I'll give you that. Matip was good. I thought Simicast was good. There was flashes from others, but overall, I don't think there was someone where you come out and go, he was really, really good. Kieran says, City have skewered this league now to where 2 losses is probably too much for the title. 5 to 6 was the usual limit before City set these ridiculous standards. Well, they have set those standards. You know, and it's up to us to match them. How they've set the standards and how they've got there is another conversation for another day, but you have to play what's in front of you, whether that's good, bad, or ridiculous. You have to play what's in front of you. Amrit says we need more 1-2 incisive passes. They started doing more to the end. It was just, do you know when you watch a team and you just your belief in what they believe in is that you're watching them and they think this will just come. It'll just come at some stage. It'll be okay. This will come, instead of forcing the issue. You know, absolutely forcing it. And I thought we tried to force it for the first 20-25. I really did. I thought we were good. I thought we were on top. We had loads of possession in their half. We were looking sharpish. You know, we create 1 or 2 things. The penalty comes. You know, and I thought we weren't too bad. When it got to 45, we weren't too bad. You know, when we get the goal, I think what Klopp says there, rhythm goes and we can't get it back. I think that's a huge thing. And we have to learn to deal with that because, as someone else says there, it's our cup final. It's everybody's cup final when they come up against us. Forget City. It's Liverpool is their cup final. It simply is. And you have to work out a way of getting around that. You know, James Smith says, we were average tonight. The early yellow made a huge impact. I'm going to keep the cans coming. You walk away, brother. I'm not against cans. I'm just opting for a day or two recovery, and we'll give them another bash on New Year's Eve, and I'm sure for the Chelsea game as well. Let me see. Master Disaster feels that we need to buy a striker in the January, or we could we could drop further back with the AFCON. It was interesting, wasn't it? Like, Origi's out, Minamino wasn't on the bench, you know, so it's Firmino is on the bench, and still coming back from that injury as well. Gary Boland makes a great point though, and as obvious as it is, it's a great point. City have lost 2 as well. It's the draws that are killers. You know, that's the thing. I think they've won 3 games more than us and drawn 3 less, and we've lost 2 and they've lost 2. So it is. But again, like, and I don't want to be Mr. Positivity, and I don't want to be spouting this like I'm pretending I don't believe it, but it's literally a goal here or there, isn't it? You know, like 1 less fuck up, probably, 2 less fuck ups this season. 1 against Brentford, 1 against, say, Brighton at home, and we're sitting here going, do you know what? It's only 2 points in it. Even after tonight, it's only 2 points in it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those. Laszlo Panaflex, hiya Laszlo. He says, all analysis aside, with everything on the line, they had Ndidi and Amartey at centre half, and we need to be beating that every day. I couldn't agree more with you. And while Leicester picked out what they were going to attack, and it was made even more obvious for them after 4 minutes, I don't think we did. I don't think we put enough pressure on them. Even more balls in around the back of them, pull them out of position a bit. I'm not asked to be absolutely incisive all the time, but get your central striker roaming all over the place, pulling players out of position, and making Amartey and making Ndidi make decisions that they're not used to making. Whereas some centre halves will go, I'll let them go out there, but usually when you have centre backs in there that are midfielders, they want to follow you. They want to follow you and they want to engage. But it's one of those. Red Steve says, funny how we moan about how poor Manny and Salah are playing, then moan about missing for the AFCON in the next month. Yeah, that's it. Reese McCardle, this is positivity, I like this. Until you go 13 points behind, anything is possible. 12 has been done before. Yeah, but I get where you're coming from, Reese, but I do get the point with regards to City, because, entitled races in years gone by, even if you take us and City out, if you look at like title races maybe between Chelsea and United, or United and Arsenal, or whoever it might be, there was always the thing of, if they get a couple of suspensions or a couple of injuries, and what could happen, and it'll be about that. Whereas when you look at City, you go, they could probably get 2 suspensions and maybe 2 injuries, and they just have lads that are just coming off the bench, just what they are. There's nothing you can do about it. I call them a cheat code, and that's what they are. And to outdo them is a huge ask. Regardless of how you feel about what we do transfer-wise, our squad is really, really, really good. And I think we've a huge chance in Europe. I think we've a huge chance in the League Cup, and the FA Cup we don't know. I still think we've a huge chance in the league. You have to keep them at a certain distance, though. A lot of people mention, 9 points, and I think 9 points, it's not impossible, but it's starting to look like that you can make no more mistakes. You can absolutely make no more mistakes. Real Talk Football TV, just a little word on Mane. He says, I love Mane, but he's peaked. If you can't beat the team with 2 midfielders at centre-back, then you don't deserve to win the league. And you know what? They are 2 midfielders at centre-half. I think Leicester, in fairness, you have to give Leicester some credit. They protected them quite well. They did protect them. They stayed compact. And I'm talking about dragging players out of position. Maybe Leicester didn't let us do that enough, but it was on us to move them around. It was on us to get Jota and say, right, Jota, we want you to get close to Salah, or go over and get close to Mane. One of them will have to come with you. And then it's up to the likes of Ox or Henderson or whoever to break into those spaces and ask them questions, take them out of their comfort zone. And I don't think we did. Mikey K asks, and it's a decent question for this time of year. He says, do Liverpool need to add in January? I think the AFCON is going to take a massive it's going to take a massive effect on us, despite it being only probably 2 league games they'd missed because of FA Cup and stuff like that. I don't know where they add, and I'm not saying they shouldn't. So before anyone jumps down my throat, I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I keep saying it. I think the next attacking edition at Liverpool has to be one where they basically come in and you go, you know what, he's going to be 100% a starter in a year's time. Not someone that comes in and go, hey, he might do a job for a year or 18 months and we might make money on him. That's not where we want to be. I think it has to be huge. Midfield wise, I can't see them adding anyone unless something extraordinary comes up. you know, the numbers that they have in there and the numbers that they have available, I don't know where the argument comes to make that. And defensively, the only place you kind of look is right back cover. But what do you do there? Like, it's hard to get a fella in and he wants to be covered to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's going to play the vast majority of the games for Liverpool, all things being equal, for probably the next 8 or 10 years. You know, so it's a hard one there. I don't know. You know, we have form for not doing anything in January. You know, like I can't see anybody being overly surprised if we don't do anything in January. We will bring you lots of content in January with regards to the links that might come about, discussions about what we might do, and you know, we'll talk about it. We'll absolutely talk about it. And you know, one thing about this channel is you can come on and you can have a go at FSG. You can be neutral. You can be absolutely pro them. You can give your opinion from one day to the next. You can change it from a Monday to a Tuesday, depending on results or depending on what you want to see. But if you want to stick with us through January, we're going to have loads and loads and loads of stuff to talk about, and we're going to talk about it lots. So it's up to you to come in here and do that. And I'm sure there'll be links. I'm sure, you know, Klopp may want one, he may want two. What do FSG want? We don't know. Nobody knows. You know, the Salah thing is still rumbling on. It's one of those. Somebody says there, when you look at City's bench to where's it's a joke, but when you look at City's bench to anyone's a joke. You know, that's just what they are. That's the way they've been built. You know, they literally can throw money at anything they want whenever they want. You know, the big thing at the moment is Jack Grealish. How's he gone at Man City? He's £100 million player. Can't get in the team at Man City. You know, they've just sold Ferran Torres for 55 million because he wasn't settled. Good luck. Gone. They'll bring someone else in. I think the next thing that happens is they go on for Haaland in January. That's just my opinion, because I'm, you know, despite them having a huge squad, I think Guardiola would look at that and go, I'm losing a really good player. I want another one in, because that's how he works. FSG will do what they do in every window, nothing or the bare minimum as usual, says Master of Disaster. Thor says, and it's getting away from the match a little bit tonight, but that's okay, because we're talking about the bigger picture as well. We're trying to beat a state-backed club. 100% we need to think about how we can even up the odds. Yes, we have done well to get here, but it is tough. It is tough, but that's football, you know. And we've had really, really great times under Jurgen Klopp, and there's more to come, in my opinion. I don't think they'll give up. I think the one thing I always say about Liverpool is when they get kicked like this, they usually respond really well. And you know, some people will look at Chelsea and go, "Oh, disaster!" You know, after that, to go to Chelsea with everything on the line. I'm happy. I'm happy to go to Chelsea now and put it all on the line. Salah signing in January will be the distraction, says Alex. I just want that done, regardless of what you think about what they might do or not do in January. I just want that done. Johnny B says we have done amazing just to compete with City for so long. Yeah, we have, and we still will. We still are. You know, we're 6 points off them. We're still competing with Manchester City. You know, like if it was the other way around, we were 6 points clear, right? You would talk Liverpool up to the high heavens, right? And you would be looking at City going, what would you be asking about City? You probably, with the quality behalf, asked about their application and asking about, you know, their drive, their want. What's the story with their manager? We'd ask loads of questions over City. We're asking about Liverpool at the moment because of a lot of draws, which I think in agreeing, you'd have to agree is the killer. You can take the odd defeat here and there, away at Leicester, away at West Ham. Fair enough, you take them. But, you know, the draws are a killer. But it was the other way around. I think you'd be asking questions about City. And we did do that. When we went and spanked the league 2 seasons ago, loads of questions were being asked of Pep Guardiola. And he has a brilliant squad now. He had a brilliant squad then. You know, they lost a centre-back in Laporte, and it was a massive deal made of it. But, like, it's just what it is, lads and lassies. It's just what it is. Let me see. Mikey says, the thing with City is not only the money, but it's in the hands of a top manager. Yeah, he is a top manager, but he's a manager that runs everything off the fact that he has the biggest budget in the league. He doesn't go anywhere else. That's what his MO is what you're seeing, you know. And that's just, again, that's what it is. You're up against a team that has the most money in the league. Well, you can argue Newcastle now, but you haven't seen what they can do with the manager that only manages teams that have the most, you know. And it's so fucking hard. It's so hard, but you wouldn't give it. Would you give it up? Would you give up being a Liverpool? Would you not give up being a Liverpool fan, but would you write it off because they have more money and they have Pep Guardiola? Not a chance. Not for me. Somebody says there, Kat says, Gav, must say, are the voice of reason here. I always try to be reasonable. You know, I'm not always right. I'm far from it. Like, far from it. But I always try to be reasonable, and I always look at it. And, you know, and when I look at this, I won't be happy tonight when I finish this. I won't be happy in the morning. I'm going to play golf, and I won't play well now because I'll be trying to hit that ball so fucking hard because I'm annoyed. But tomorrow evening I'll probably go, you know what? On to the next one. On to the next one. On to the next one. And I think another way I look at it is as well is, you know, Johnny says, Gav, you're asking for some players to compete year after year. Not happening. It's got to fail sooner or later. Sadly, it's sooner. Well, sooner. When? Like, when has sooner arrived, Johnny? Like, you know, it's are you saying this is the end of it? Because if you reckon that this is the end of it and sooner rather than later, when does later come and when does sooner come? Like, we're doing this years now. We're doing this years. We're back. We're having a right go at years. We had a massive deal with them 18-19. We took the league from them 19-20. They took it back last season. We had horrific problems, and we're 6 points off them now. And you're got this. This is, if admitting City will win the league is unreasonable, I'm unreasonable, says Johnny. No, I don't think you're unreasonable to admit that they would win the league, but I don't think I'm unreasonable to say that Liverpool still have a chance, you know, because all the stuff you stack up as Man City and what they have and what Liverpool have and the 6 points in it, don't get me wrong, if we were 15 points off them right now, you go, you know what, it's over, you know, we probably need to look at something else. But it's, at the moment, it's still up in the air. Just for me, it's in the air. Sean says there, it's gone off my screen, Sean. Oh, sorry, I got a little Christmas bonus, so I donated it to Sienna Steps. We would go again. You'll never walk alone. So, Sean, nice one, Sean. And if anyone wants to donate to Sienna, absolutely do that. Can I give a shout out as well to at Pierce Cult on Twitter? They have done a brilliant promotion over December for the James Pierce calendars. It's a brilliant account, but they've been raising money. Their target was €2,002, and they're now at 3,908. They were about 90 quid short earlier on today. So if you go on to Twitter and go to @PierceCult, you'll see the link. It's a Just Giving link. If anyone can throw a few quid at that to make them get to 4,004, which was their target, I think, absolutely go and throw that. Patsy OB says, you're not unreasonable, Gav, you're delusional. Fair enough. If I'm delusional that we can still have a go at this, absolutely, I'll take it that I'm delusional. I absolutely will, Patsy. There's no problem. But give us let us know, Patsy, where you stand on it. You just think we're delusional if we think we can still have a go at this. If Klopp wasn't in the league, I think Pep would have got bored and left by now. Yeah, probably. He's a massive respect for Jurgen Klopp, and it goes both ways. But Kevin Ball reckons FSG are happy with getting top four and the bare minimum. That's the fact. Probably won't win another trophy with Klopp with his aging squad. The only, we're going to have conversations with FSG during the month of January. It always happens, and it always happens. You know, in the summer, it just does. That's the way things. That's life. But what I would say is that, do you think there's a lot of players signing them contracts that just go, oh, you know what, we're just good enough for top four? Do you think that squad think that? Because I don't. I think that squad think that they're really, really good and they have a great chance. Look, I could be completely wrong. You know, Owen Bucks has 4 leagues and 6 seasons for Pep if they win this season. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what he should have. That's what he should have more of what he has at his disposal. And I could be completely wrong. I could be sitting here in a month's time and we're second, third in the league, and we're 14 points off the top, and we know the league is gone. You know, there's just way too much to get back in. And at that time, you say to yourself, I have to look at this. We might have to look at that. You know, where's it gone wrong? You know, you have to ask questions. That's what happens when you fall behind or whatever it is. But right now, I know it hurts tonight. I know it does, but it's 6 points. I know it's 6 points behind Man City. I know it's not 6 points behind Chelsea. But trust me, 2 months ago, people were telling you that Chelsea were going to win the league. You know, They were. Look at them. They're brilliant. They've added Lukaku in. Lukaku's out, and they're still winning games. Anything can happen. What's the most likely thing to happen? City keep going. They're a train, you know. But other things can happen too. Liverpool could go on a brilliant run. Liverpool could collapse. We don't know. But right now, I kind of try staying the now. And as much as that hurts me tonight, I just kind of look and go at 6 points. It's not ideal, but it's not insurmountable. That's the way I look at it. Russell, I get this up for you now. A couple more before we leave. Thanks for joining me tonight, by the way. As hard as it is for me, it's as hard for you to come on and discuss this. What scares me is Klopp did say that Madrid were dominant because they stuck to their squad for 2 or 3 seasons. We seem to be following that thing. Yeah, I think there's more chance of signing Haaland's dad than Haaland himself, says Klopp optimistic. City are a train, says Kieran B. I never would. Spencer Stewart said, I never thought Chelsea were going to win the league. No, I'm not saying you did personally, Spencer, and probably not many in this chat did, but you've seen an awful lot going around about how Chelsea had won the European Cup, how they've come on under Thomas Tuchel, how they added Lukaku. He was going to be that flat track bully to put teams away, and although he has been injured, Chelsea have fallen away. And you know what? It's just the way it goes. I understand that less chance of happening with City, but it still can. All I'm saying is, look, just stay with it. Keep going. You never know what can happen. We could be sitting here drowning our sorrows in a month's time, or we could be absolutely buzzing because we're neck and neck. I think the next Chelsea's huge. I think, and I always look at the 1st of March. Where are you on the 1st of March? You know, and I'd probably take somewhere between 4 and 6 points between now and March. It could be level. We could be ahead. We could be 12 behind. We don't know what will happen. But that's what football's about, isn't it? Not knowing what's going to happen. Fabinho looked leggy when he has a bad one and never works out for us. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. And sometimes he does take a little while to get going. Red Steve asks, is it a Christmas jumper? No, it's just a jumper. You're used to me in polos and me weird golf tops, but it's just a standard jumper today. I feel like when I wore this today, I was like, should I not be going to mass or doing something like that? Someone did ask earlier, can we talk about butter a bit more because it'd be easier than the match? No, we got given out to last night in the comments for talking about too much butter and talking about COVID. So we'll try to hang off that. We got given out to. Patsy, Mrs. Genie. I don't know much. There's talk of him being available in January, isn't there? Newcastle being linked to him. Let me see. James Smith says, thanks Gav and all the lads for the content in 2021. I'd rather be a Liverpool supporter than City or Chelsea. Keep the faith. Yeah, 2021's been good. You know, despite what happened with Liverpool last season, it's been good up to now this season for me. Overall, the back end of last season was exciting because we made top 4. But overall on this channel, we've had the people in the chat are ridiculously good. Like you'd never see anybody in here just to talk shite. They always have good comments, and that's what I love about it. The money we've raised has been great. We're going to try to do a bit more of that in 2022. We're going to bring you probably 40% more content in 2022. People will like that. Some people won't, but we're going to try to do that anyway, starting next Monday. Red Steve says 50 minutes in, biscuit chat time. I don't know. There's a lot of biscuit chat around Christmas, isn't there? Because you get the boxes. Like the chocolate Kimberley are just outstanding. I got a box of Fox's stuff, which was nice. They were nice, but I'm not really into those heroes and all them stuff. I've gone off them. I do like a biscuit though. I do biscuit. The City squad is light enough. They'll definitely buy in January. You must be joking me. I think they will. I have an awful feeling that Ferran Torres move is making way for Erling Haaland. I can't see them. Not so much for the league. I think for the Champions League. I think he'll want one more. I think he will. Chocolate Hobnobs, the Biscuit King, says Hannah. The good one. Yeah, Chocolate Hobnobs is good. They are good. Red Steve controlling the tempo. He always does. But he has his wrong name. He should be Just Steve. He knows this, but he won't change it. But look, I'm going to go. I'm going to leave us. It's nearly 11 o'clock at night. And, you know, it's not been a good day for Liverpool. It's not a good result. It wasn't a good performance, and overall, no football on Boxing Day, or Stevens' Day as we call it here, and a defeat today. And we go again, see Chelsea on Sunday, so we will do some build up to that. But look, I've enjoyed all your comments, whether it's been good or bad, agreeing with me or disagreeing with me. I actually like the disagreement a bit more, because it stokes up some conversation. But it's been a really good show, as good as it could have went. I think we're only me here and a Liverpool defeat. With regards to the rest of the week, we have a night off tomorrow. The midweek fix will come in on Thursday night, previewing Chelsea. Friday is New Year's Eve, so we won't be around. Saturday is New Year's Day, we won't be around, but Sunday we'll be back to our normal schedule from Sunday. We will have the full-time Reds after Liverpool v Chelsea, hopefully me and Kev, and then we will have the Fatback 4 on Sunday, and then we're back into it full steam from Monday. And your extra content that you're going to get week on week starts on Monday. I hope you can you'll see it coming up, you'll see it announced on Monday morning, and I hope you can join me. It will be just me, just to let you know. It will be just me, but I'm hoping you can join me on that content that we're going to bring you. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks everyone for watching. Hit the like if you haven't already. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And enjoy the rest of your evening, what's left of it. We'll talk to you on Thursday for a preview of Chelsea. And if you don't see it between there, now and then, have a brilliant New Year's Eve. Have a great New Year, and I wish you all the best of health and happiness. And if anyone has 6 or 7 points in their bag that they can throw on top of Liverpool right now, we'll take that as well. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.